Okay, today we're going to go over how to use PlayPosit with your Schoology accounts. So the first step is to log into Schoology. And from there, you're going to log into a course. So here are a list of my sample courses. I'm going to click into one, and I'm brought straight to this course page. Now what we're going to do is we're going to create an LTI link. What this link does is it associates a Schoology assignment with a PlayPosit bulb. And we'll kind of get into some of that terminology later. But to begin, you're going to go ahead and click this Add Materials. Click the Add File Link External tool. Choose External tool. Click the drop down to PlayPosit. And then you can title your lesson. So let's just say Sample Posit Lesson Title. You don't have to worry with any of these three items here. If you want to enable grading, you can choose a point value, a due date, a category. But for the purpose of this, I'm not going to do that. And then you're going to click Submit. And then you'll notice that this assignment now appears within your course. And the next step that we are going to do is we are going to link this assignment with a PlayPosit bulb or PlayPosit video lesson. So I'm going to click this, and I'll be directed straight into PlayPosit itself. What's great about this LTI link setup is that you, as the instructor, don't have to create a separate PlayPosit account or a username or password or anything. It's all done through Schoology. And the same is done with your rosters and your classes. They're automatically synced, so you don't have to create anything. And when your students log into their Schoology account, they can click your PlayPosit assignment, and then they're brought straight into that lesson. So again, no need for extra passwords. So from the screen, we're going to click Get Started, and you're going to be brought straight into your PlayPosit account. Now, here's where you're going to choose the bulb or the video lesson that you want to link to your Schoology assignment. To do that, so let's say I have a pre-created bulb here. I'm going to click Assign and Set as LTI link. Now, at the very top, I have a confirmation letting me know that the course is fully synced. So now if my students come into my course and they click that lesson, they'll be brought straight into the assignment that I linked with the Schoology assignment. So that's how you create this LTI link. The next step I want to go over is how to create a bulb or video lesson within PlayPosit. So I'm going to go ahead and close out of this for a moment. And I have my own PlayPosit account open. So to create a video bulb, you're going to go ahead and click this Design Bulb, and you'll be brought into the builder. Now from this builder, you can choose to insert a URL, either from YouTube, Vimeo, TeacherTube, Show Me, or Schmoop. You can upload your own MP4, or you can even search YouTube from this bar. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and search, let's say, creating a fictional world. So what this actually populates is the same results that you would see on YouTube, because we use YouTube's own search engine here. So I know that this is the video that I want to use. I'm going to go ahead and click Add. And I'll be brought into our builder. Okay, from here we can now make edits and adjustments to this video, and we can add questions. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to want to trim this video. So to do that, I'm going to hover over this orange icon, which is going to be your home base for all actions for the video. Click Trim Video, and then notice that two markers appear on either side of the scrub bar. You can click and drag these to take off portions from the beginning and the end of the video. And then if you want to remove portions from the middle, go ahead and find that moment in time. Click Add Internal Crop Segment, and you see that these markers now appear in the middle of the video as well. Just as before, you're able to click and drag them, dependent on where you want that cropping to begin. Now when you're done, you can exit crop mode, and you'll notice that the parts are cropped out because there's these diagonal lines across the scrub bar here. What's great about PlayPosit is that these edits are not done to the original video, they're done to an overlay sitting on top of it. So if you want to go back and adjust it, it's very easy to do. Just went back to the trim mode. Maybe I'm adding a little bit more parts to the video. I can even remove this internal crop segment. And then everything is set and I can exit crop mode. The next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to add questions. So let's go ahead and start at the beginning. Choose a moment in time, hover over this orange icon, purple add question. And you'll see the different question types that we have. We have 8 question types. Of these 8, multiple choice, check all that apply, and fill in the blank are automatically graded for you. Free response is graded on a scale of 0 to 3, and you have to manually grade that. And then these 4, reflective pause, web embed, polling, and discussion forum, are non-graded question types. So I'm going to go ahead and start with a multiple choice question. So I'm going to put a sample question, give some responses. Notice that as I'm typing, as the instructor, I have access to a rich text editor. So I'm able to bold, italicize, create tables or numbered lists. If you are teaching a science or a math and you want to insert an equation, you can do that here. You can upload images from your hard drive, or you can even add a voice recording. So in addition to the written instructions that I have here, let me go ahead and click and save this. Let's say I also want to add an audio portion. So I'm going to also upload an audio. Click record. So these are my verbal instructions that I'm now giving. I'm going to upload that recording. And now that audio file is also going to be attached and associated with this question. It will take a little moment to upload. The limit for this audio file is going to be 90 seconds. And if you want your students to also have access to this text editor where they can upload images, use this audio recording, bold, italicize, numbered lists, and tables, you can do that by choosing a free response question. So now with this multiple choice, I have the sample question and then this audio recording. It's not perfectly formatted for this demo, but you can, of course, adjust how you want this to look. I want to add another question, but I also want that question to appear in the same moment of time. So I want to stack my questions in the series. I do that by clicking these triple dots, clicking this add question after, and then you notice that this next set of questions that I have is going to appear at that same time marker. So I'm going to choose free response because I want my students to have access to this text editor where they answer me. So I might say, please respond with an audio recording of whatever it happens to be. Click save, and then you can add as many questions as you want to that series. I'm going to go ahead and add another question here. And I'm not going to go over all of these, just want to kind of hit the highlights because a lot of them are self-explanatory. The one I do want to talk about those is discussion forum. Now what this does is it brings up a discussion forum on the right-hand side of the video. This is pretty unique because all other question types appear on the left-hand side and they will pause the video, so your students have to interact with it before they can continue. The discussion forum will appear on the right-hand side and it does not pause the video. Instead, it stays open for as long as you want, so let's say about a minute. And then the question that you have will appear in a chat form on the right-hand side, and your students can respond to this question by inserting their response. They can respond to their peers. It's a great way to increase student dialogue as well as mimic a traditional classroom discussion. The last kind of thing I want to show you about these questions is the ability to jump. But before we do that, I want to add another video to this bulb. So let's say I've added all my questions, it's all trimmed. So now I want to add one more video to this lesson. So I'm going to click the top left-hand icon, looks like a play button. I'm going to add another video. Again, I can upload a URL here, upload an MP4, but in this case, I'm just going to search YouTube again. And then I'm going to choose from this list, let's say some James Joyce. And that video is brought into this lesson. So once the students finish the assignment or this video experience here, they're automatically brought into the second one. So I'm going to go ahead and move back to the first. Give it a second while it loads. And the reason why I brought in that second video is I want to demonstrate a feature that some of our question types have. So for multiple choice, check all that apply, and fill in the blank, you have the option to jump a student forward or backward into your lesson depending on how they answer. So for instance, a student answered B right here. That is an incorrect response, and it demonstrates to me that there's a critical misunderstanding. So I want to jump them to a different video of my video bulb that may be review. So I'm going to click this icon right here, and I'm going to click jump. And I'm going to choose which video I want to bring them to. And then notice that this green marker appears. I can drag that to any part of this video that I want the student to move to when they answer B in that question. So let's say this is the moment, click confirm location. So anytime a student answers B, they're moved to that video at that 8-minute, 52-second marker. The other thing that you can do for all of these question types is add feedback. So if you want to bring remediation to that student directly in the moment with your written feedback, you can do that. So if we have another option here, and let's say I want to give feedback, so this is close but incorrect. You missed the step of whatever it happens to be. Again, so it's just a way to talk to your student in the moment to address any maybe misconceptions that they have and really provide that feedback to help them with this lesson. So those are the overall different functionalities of the question types. And now I'm going to go over some of the settings overall for this bulb. So already demonstrated how to add more videos. Once you've added all your videos, added all your questions, trim them all, the last thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to click into the settings icon, triple dots, click settings. Here you can change the title of the bulb, add a learning objective. If there is a YouTube blocker at your school, you can enable a bypass. And then these four are the ones I want to focus on. So if you want your students to be able to rewind during questions, so usually when the question appears, they have to answer before they can move either forwards or backwards. So if you want them to be able to rewind in the video to maybe find that answer or seek it out, you can enable this here. If you want your viewers to be able to skip questions or fast forward, you can enable these two options. And if you want to enable your viewers to retake a bulb once it's complete for full credit, you can do that as well. The only thing I want to mention about this is that there is no limit to how many times a student can retake a bulb, and it wipes out their first score completely. And you're not aware of how many times that's happened. So this might not be perfect for all lessons, but for some it might be useful. Below, you can change the thumbnail of your videos. Maybe if you want to upload an agenda or something else besides whatever YouTube populates. You can change the video source. So let's say we made this video, it's beautiful, we love it, and then we go on YouTube and find an updated video or maybe even a better video. You can swap out that video source and those questions remain static. So that's really great, and you can just move those questions around to adjust for the timing. And the last thing that we have is you can add captions. So you're able to upload SRT or VTT files to your video, and the captions will appear. And not only will captions appear, but also a transcript will be embedded with this video. So your students can open up that transcript on a pop-out window or similar to what a discussion forum would appear, and they can search that transcript. And then, if they're doing review, maybe they've seen this video already, searching that transcript, they click key terms and they're brought to that portion of the video. This is a great way for students to review. When you're done making all these changes, click finish. Oh, looks like I had a question that was open, but we're going to leave anyway in this case. And then in your bulbs, that video is now there. So when we created that LTI link for the first time, and I had those 2 video bulbs, this is where I could have clicked that assign LTI link. All right, so after you have now created everything, assigned it to your class, the next thing you want to do is check that student data. So I'm going to go ahead and find a sample that I have. And the way that I'm accessing this data is not the way that you will be doing it. Your way is a lot simpler. But this is what the page will look like. At the very top, you have the question by question breakdown and the aggregate information for your students. You have the average score here, how many students completed the lesson, and then the information for each different question here. Um, you'll notice 4 different question colorations. The first is going to be gray, which are ungraded question types. Green is correct, red is incorrect, and orange are questions that you have to grade. So we're going to go ahead and discuss how to grade those questions. So below you have the individual student data, and you see their responses for each question here. I'm going to scroll down. So free response question types are going to be orange from the get-go, and once you grade them, they change into green. And free response questions are going to be the pencil and then the line underneath, and they're going to look like this. To grade these question types, you're going to click into this box. Your question title will appear up top. The student response will appear here, and then you can assign a point value for that. And once you do, it'll change from orange to green to signify that it's graded. For an easier look at this, you can click Edit All, and all of these responses open, so you can easily scroll down and assign those point values to that question at once. If we go to the left, you see the student score for the bulb. Sometimes it might be low because of ungraded questions. To the left of that, in parentheses, you see how long that student took on this bulb. And then to the left of that, you see the length of the video bulb in general. Students will also be prompted to give you feedback at the end of every lesson. So if you click into it, you see the score they gave this lesson on a scale of 1 to 5. 1 being, I was really lost, super confused. 5 being, it was awesome and I totally get it now. And then they're also prompted to give you a written feedback as well. And then at the very far end, these triple dots here, you're able to reset a student's score manually. So instead of toggling on that switch that we saw earlier when creating the bulb, if you want more control over who does bulbs again, you can use this reset button. You can export your students' answers and your questions into a PDF. This is great if you want to maybe print out their assignment, if it was a test and want to have it taken home to get signed by parents. And then finally below that is a chat feature. If you're on this monitor page and your students are doing their lesson, they can chat you questions that you can answer in the moment. This is a great alternative to maybe traditional office hours where you have your phone by you. Now you can just have your monitor page here. And you can see the student data real time, so you can even reach out to them if you're at home and you know your students are doing homework during that time period. Okay, so the great thing about these question types is anything that's auto-graded. So there's multiple choice, check all that apply, and fill in the blank questions. They're automatically pushed into your Schoology gradebook. So you don't have to do any grading for them. They're automatically synced. However, for these free response questions, those orange question types that we have right here, once you finish grading all of these, you also go up and click an export button at the very top to sync those grades with your Schoology account. I'm going to go ahead and show you what that looks like in just a moment. So here's the LTL link that we created earlier. So I'm going to go back to my course. And I'm going to click this same link again. And notice that this time it's prompting me to go to the monitor page. So the logic behind that is once you set up the link, the next time you go in, you're probably going to want to see those student responses. So I'm going to click into that. So there's no data here because I just created this course and it's a fake class. But here's that export grades button I was talking about earlier. So once you finish adding those or changing those orange grades to green ones, you click export grades here and everything is now synced. Thank you so much for choosing to use PlayPosit or explore our platform. I'm really happy and to be working with you. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me at rob at playposit.com. Thanks so much and have a great day.